Good evening, everybody. Todd here with the Nashville by Night Coterie. Of course, it's been a little bit of time, so let's introduce ourselves for those that have not been here for a while or whatnot. First, we have DorkyRae, who is playing Rayan Gathan. Or Bran Cavall. Cavall.
Shumai bow.
Next, we have our resident itsAnubus, 21Nubus, playing Lachlan Gambrill, or also known as Percival Ward.
How's it going, everyone?
Next, from the Clan of the Rose, we have Moriarty Time playing Lizette Bouchard, also known as Evelyn Artemis Bardot.
Hello.
And hailing from the Setite Ministry, we have none other than Thrabalen of Thrabalen Gaming, playing Arabelle Watson, also known as Bethany Manchester.
Hello, my dear friends.
And I'm your humble storyteller. So we're going to have a good time. I do understand it's been a while between episode 4 and episode 5. I do apologize. Most of that's my fault, so just be aware. Some people understand when I say I froed up, so there is that. But anyway, we're going back into Jackson by Night now. As a brief refresher on what happened previously, they were holed up in the restoration room of the Mississippi Museum of Art, if I'm not mistaken. They went out and met Bryce, or Bryce 2, a Duskborn. They were harassed by some local hooligans, and upon coming back to their temporary haven, found Dowen locked in a room, Caden missing, and the to-go bag cut up with the message "Found you" carved into his face. Since that night, there's been a lot of playing it safe, making sure they go out in small groups, make sure that the haven is protected and such. They have been in touch with Bryce. Bryce hasn't been able to get in touch with Miss Vargas in this time, though some of the other assistants have been popping up in the news, which completely and totally worries Bryce. The burner phone started receiving new messages from an unknown contact, which seems to know the Coterie at the very least. All of this is available for you guys to check out as part of the new Precipice Podcast Network Discord, which I am going to, if you're in the Twitch chat while we record this live, there will be a link dropped in chat. So you guys can join. Say hello in the welcome channel. Yeah, there's the Ray just accidentally dropped the incorrect link. But there should be the new one, which I shall drop. So if you guys are interested in following the offline day-by-day stuff in the chat on Twitch, there is the link. Otherwise, it'll be in the description of the YouTube version or in the show notes of the podcast version. So yeah, there is that. Why is Discord being weird? There we go. Discord decided to be a dumb. But anyway, so we shall pick up where we left off. Sort of. Some time has passed, obviously. They've been receiving these messages. The messages, in turn, have been from our new, sort of new contact, I guess, which I think is really interesting. The fact that they're coming to the burner phone is the most intriguing bit. Maps, schematics, vehicles, memes, pictures of corgis with tails, with mermaid tails, the whole nine. It's been a very interesting one, but needless to say, there has been a lot going on as of late. The burner phone buzzes. Who in the Coterie currently has possession of the burner phone?
That would be Bran.
All right.
Slash Ryan.
Gotcha. The message reads, should be in town tonight. And I'm bringing friends.
Alright, so you guys know how I told you about the person that's been texting us? Maybe? Maybe you remember?
I zoned. What happened? I'm sorry. Nubus was leaving and talking to me, and I couldn't pay attention to both at the same time, so I blame Nubus.
Gotcha. Bran basically just said, you remember the person that's been texting the burner phone that I mentioned?
Yeah.
She should.
I take it there's some new news.
Apparently going to be in town tonight with friends. So that should be fun.
Oh, good company. Just what we needed. So, shall we spruce up the place? I'm pretty sure we've hidden the dead body by now. Put up a welcome banner. Have some coffee out. I don't know. I don't know what to expect anymore. Thoughts?
Quite frankly, rather than coffee, they probably would have preferred the dead body.
The phone buzzes one more time and it says ETA 20 minutes.
Okay, so 20 minutes to figure out whatever the heck we're going to do.
And while they're trying to figure this out, what's going to happen with their haven and such, Bethany's phone buzzes. It is a message from a contact that Bryce forwarded their Bethany's info to, who claims to be Charlotte Weber. You guys remember in episode 1 that character. A priestess for the Setite ministry. The message simply reads, "You shall be safe soon, and don't forget about what I told you about Abigail."
Well, the strands of the web are certainly getting deeper. It seems that, according to who I believe is Charlotte, we will be safe soon. Hopefully 20 minutes from now.
Just gotta love assumptions. So much.
Assumptions are all we've had for as long as I can remember anymore.
Yeah, and my sarcasm still holds. For how much I hate that.
I've not been pleased either, but let's face it, you can either swim with the current, or you can be dragged down by it. For now, I prefer to go with it.
Or you can get the heck out of the water.
Have you seen shore in recent memory? I haven't. All there is water. Water as far as the eye can see.
I mean, what I was saying is basically go to grounding, get out, and completely off the grid. Which the only reason I haven't done that is because for some reason I've decided I somewhat tolerate you all.
Let's be perfectly fair. The reason you haven't is most likely because they'll find you anyway. And as long as you don't do that, that hope still remains.
I'm very practiced at disappearing. That has nothing to do with it.
In any event, all we can do is make plans with the information we have, or that we think we have. Unless you have anything new, because quite frankly, it looks like this is it.
Yeah, I've got nothing outside of what I just said.
The intercom in the restoration room buzzes.
We've not been arguing for 20 minutes.
Nope. Is there any way to see, like, who would be at the intercom, like any cameras or anything?
No. It's just your standard intercom system.
And is it set up from, like, the front door? Because there is that one-way mirror thing.
So,
Or...
okay, so the intercom is in the restoration room.
right.
You see nobody in the hallway.
Okay, for the intercom to buzz, is that where would the other end of that be hooked up? Is basically what I'm asking.
Oh, okay. So
inefficiently, I'm sorry.
Usually that would be either any of the other rooms could buzz that intercom, as well as the security officer.
Gotcha. both of us have very distinctive voices. Or accents, at least. Are you any good at emulating an American accent?
I thought that's what I've been doing.
I suppose I'll answer the call or the intercom. I suppose I shall go and push the button. How can I help you?
Hey, it's Bill in security. Guys usually parked out in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's this strange fella kind of just standing around talking some gibberish language.
Okay.
I can't make heads or tails of it. But I'm kind of just giving you guys a heads up if you were to decide to poke out for a quick break or whatever you're doing in there.
I'll let the others know. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem.
Well, it sounds like there's a doomsayer out on the street. Anybody want to go investigate? Because I sure as hell don't.
To be fair, what's one more?
Well, according to the lovely security officer out on the street, the guy's talking gibberish. So that could mean either they're speaking in tongues or they're speaking some foreign language that somebody can probably identify.
Well, if we're trying to approximate Americans, to be fair, we wouldn't know a foreign language.
Well, I mean, security guard knows we're not. At least you and I, knows. But I just basically didn't. If it was somebody trying to track us or whatever. So, who knows the most foreign languages?
I'm just gonna stare at Braun and go, probably you.
Hey, you were the one that knew Spanish, so, I mean...
So
Braun's just got Welsh and English.
Should we both go up there then?
I hate it, but sure. Yeah, I guess checking through that one-way mirror one more time just to make sure that that hallway is clear.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bran is going to head up. If I remember the layout right, head up the stairs and just kind of
2 flights of stairs. Yes.
Gotcha. And just kind of like barely open the door to see if he can hear, but not like make it look like the door's opening.
It is very distinctly Welsh.
God damn it! All right. Who do I know from Wales? Literally nobody. Okay. Can I hear what it sounds? I mean, like if it's distinctly, I'm assuming I can hear what's being said. So, like from the door, can I understand what he's saying? Or yeah, security guard said guy.
Yeah. So, what you can understand through the door is where are they keeping him? I must find him. And just repeatedly saying this and like yelling this at the security guy. And the security guy is kind of agitated, like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Okay. Oh, that makes me even less want to go out there. Cram it. All right. So here's my question for you, Storyteller.
Yes.
Do you want me to speak actual Welsh?
No.
Okay.
Because I can't speak actual Welsh.
Gotcha. I mean, I assumed as much, but I didn't know if.
Yeah. No,
I
I
needed
haven't.
to attempt
I
in Welsh
I
and then
haven't
get
been practicing
translation.
Welsh for the last month. So.
I mean, to be fair, neither have I. I've been kind of.
What?
Yeah, no, I've slacked. I'm sorry. I apologize to all our viewers. Okay. So
Maybe you could give us the Welsh and then the translation.
yeah, that's what I was wondering if you wanted, but no, I'm good. There's going to be a lot of typing in between. Okay, so I'm going to turn to Evie, and well, it's Welsh, so I guess I'm going out there.
Do you want me
And-
to accompany you?
No.
Does the voice sound familiar at least? Do you
That is a good
know this
question.
person?
Does the voice sound familiar to me?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh no. Like, how familiar are we talking?
Pretty fucking familiar.
Can I get like a private message on who it is or something? Or I mean, if it's that familiar.
Oh, believe me, I'm surprised you haven't figured it out yet.
So who? Do you
I mean,
know,
the only person that I could think. I mean,
who do you know that speaks Welsh? In your backstory, who do you know that
To be
speaks
fair,
Welsh?
who would be the worst person in the world to show up right now?
Damien?
does Damien speak Welsh?
That speaks Welsh.
I didn't think he spoke Welsh.
Who knows what he speaks?
If he does, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I'm. Because I'm trying to remember backstory-wise, who other than... Really? He was
Yeah.
Welsh?
Yeah.
I didn't think he was Welsh. Okay.
Or at least he picked up enough of it to have a conversation with you in private.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, there's no hesitation then, if that's who it is.
Yeah.
Bran walks out. Bran walks out that door.
All right.
And, in Welsh says, "What are you doing here? What happened? I thought you were dead."
Thought I was too.
I'm just gonna peek out the door and spy.
Bethany had crept up behind, so she's fine too.
So basically, it's a Scooby-Doo moment now. Nice.
Scooby-Doo moment trying to understand Welsh.
Yup.
This is not anticipated at all. Okay, so he is like stalking that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out if he would be, or if he would even need to use Eyes of the Beast, because that lets you see better, if I remember right. I don't remember how that one works.
Yeah.
Would that be something that would be necessary to see the person speaking with this voice?
No.
Okay.
The parking lot's pretty well lit, so
Okay. So, and it looks like him too, yeah?
yes.
Okay. I'm really trying to think of how the proper reaction would be. Just gonna repeat, what are you doing here?
Came to help.
Okay, so how close, how, at this point, probably, if I've been, like, moving with purpose, am I there to him yet, or am I still far away? And, like, shouting.
You're about halfway there.
Okay.
I'm envisioning it being like kind of a slow, purposeful walk. Like still cautious. It's like, but yeah, you don't want to rush.
I mean, I did say stalking. Yeah. It's definitely a purposeful walk. You know I can't trust that. How did you get here?
I wouldn't expect you to trust it. But I got here like you did. Most likely. On your own two legs.
I mean, I actually rode in a car. That's under his breath. He's probably not close enough for that to be heard. How... I don't care. Ugh. How did you know I was here?
So... Remember the last time you saw me?
Pretty clearly, yes.
Okay. So you took Darwin, you got out of there. I expected to meet the final death. I didn't. They staked me. They took me, held me captive for... What has it been? 8, 9, almost 10 months? Maybe even a year?
Something like that. Around there.
And then two kine came wandering in. Man and a woman. Sometimes seeing kine kill kine is deserved. Of course, they left me pretty much to starve. But...
I'm glad they didn't actually kill you. How did you find me?
They gave me an address about a week ago. I was supposed to be meeting up with them here. Along with the one that found this information. She's been recruiting.
Okay. This is, like, kind of muttered, but not, and it's kind of like, he's basically saying, how do these bastards keep finding us? The last part was probably shouted.
I'm gonna hop on out and walk on over cautiously.
Bran is gonna hold a hand out, like, don't get too close.
I said cautiously. I'll stop
Yeah.
a few feet away.
Because I'm assuming Bran is there by now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They are standing face to face.
Bran's the hand that's not pointing towards the door
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely clenched into a fist, and like almost shaking. Like just that barely there kind of
Mm-hmm.
shake that you'll see sometimes.
I take it you know this person?
Yes, obviously. Actually, you know what? It was probably he probably said yes in Welsh, and then I don't know if he would have caught himself, or if everything that he just said there was Welsh.
It would have been
With
all
his-
Welsh. I'm assuming.
I think it would have been all Welsh.
Yeah.
I think it would have been all Welsh. Um, a little quieter now. He's gonna say, "Did they do anything to you besides stake you?"
They tried to find out what makes me tick. Tried to find ways to better kill our kind. I ran their little tests. The ones that they put in front of me. Only because I was so hungry. And even after that, they only gave me a rat.
I really don't know whether to punch you or.
The gentleman's just gonna hug Braun.
Yeah, he's going to. At first, definitely stiffen up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still think that one fist is going to be clenched, but his other hand will.
Do the casual pat to the back.
Yeah. Well, no.
Mm-hmm.
Wrap around and just kind of like fist in his shirt.
You're gonna fist his shirt? Because that's what I heard.
Yeah, like where you know what? Does that make sense? Like make a fist, like grab up.
So basically, what you're saying
Todd,
is,
what kind of laundry porn do you watch?
so,
Like,
so
do people not do that normally? Like when they do a hug and they like
grab the back of the shirt into a fist.
grab the back. Yeah.
No, that's definitely a Braun thing.
Okay, that's also apparently a Ray thing.
There.
Like when you're. I'll just stop talking because I'm just digging a bigger hole at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
While in the hug, the gentleman's going to just whisper, "They saved me. I owe them."
I kind of understand how that goes.
I figured you would.
I still... I don't know if I can trust this. I don't know if they did something to you. You say they didn't, of course you do, but... And Bran is going to step back. Like, or try to, take a step back,
It'll probably be better if we didn't discuss this so publicly.
I suppose it's you to go back inside?
In the time that we've been here in Jackson, is it possible that they've discovered like a quiet 24-hour cafe or something? Bran does not want to take him inside the Haven.
So at night, most
so is there
of
somewhere that he would...
See, the thing is that they're typically quiet during the day-ish, because at night in that area, a lot of the places have live music and such.
Okay.
Though I guarantee there's a Starbucks somewhere.
Oh, that place is only inhabited by... I don't know who inhabits Starbucks at night. Crazy people. So I mean, there's nowhere that Bran would have found that could be considered private in this month that they've been in Jackson, cafe or otherwise. I mean, just even an abandoned building.
Couple blocks away, there is an abandoned building. Place is pretty rough shape. It's actually slated for demo at the end of the month.
Okay. Bran is going to turn to Evelyn and, in very accented English, say, go get the others.
Radio?
Accent that strong.
And back in I go to go grab Bethany, who I almost trip over, and Percy.
I imagine as you turn around, you trip over Bethany, fall down one flight of stairs, and goes, "Where did you get there?" Comedy.
As Artemis goes by, Bethany just gives a silent but cheerful little wave.
All right, so everybody's heading up towards the parking lot so they can proceed to this abandoned building. I'm assuming they're all keeping eyes on the gentleman.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Bethany's keeping eyes on him, but also occasionally looking around just in case.
Smart. Bran probably has eyes for no one but him right now.
So a little time passes. They walk a few blocks. They get to this abandoned building. One of the boarded up windows had been already pulled. The board had already been pulled off. That's how Bran had been able to go in previously to kind of have some quiet time away from everybody else.
Bran is just going to do a cursory check to, try and make sure that there's like no squatters or vagrants or anything around.
Okay.
I could probably pop Sense the Unseen, see if there's anything around.
That is your prerogative.
All right. Did you wanted to pop Sense the Unseen?
Yeah.
All right. Just do that roll.
It's been a while. I don't remember where anything is on here.
Okay.
Where is it? Where is my stuff? That's not it. That is sort of it. There we go.
Storyteller helps.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I don't have anything celerity. Why am I looking at powers there? Haha! No modifiers?
No modifiers. All right. And how many successes were that?
2 out of 3.
Right. Okay. So you got Sense the Unseen going. Cool. The place is empty. You don't sense any hidden beings or anything.
It appears the coast is actually really clear.
Bran is gonna take a deep breath in and let it out, even though he doesn't need to, but calming mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
This is Owen. He's the one who, well, trained me, I guess. Took me in. And he was taken about a year ago by the First Light. And now he's back, apparently. Owen, these are my friends.
So are you saying he died and came back?
Apparently not. They staked him, so he was in torpor. Torpor. How's that word pronounced? I'm sorry.
Torpor. But the way you said it would have been like super like I'm struggling with the English because I'm Welsh.
Well, yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Sweet. Works for me.
Mispronounce away.
Yeah, they staked him, but didn't kill him for some reason, which I'm not saying not happy about that, but well.
So he was the Second Inquisition's guinea pig?
Bran's gonna turn and look at Owen.
It's the best way to put it.
How excruciatingly pleasant.
Oh, it was excruciatingly horrible. I assure you.
If you can't tell, she's British. Sarcasm doesn't track as well.
Well, yeah, she always sounds sarcastic. It's part of her charm. So you were the Second Inquisition's guinea pig, and then you were saved fairly recently by male and female.
By a man and a woman.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know that. We were talking completely in Welsh.
Yes.
Oh, fair. I don't know these things.
No,
it was
you're
English
fair.
to me.
You're fine. Yeah, I know.
And you somehow mystically, magically managed to escape that.
There was help. Some people don't like the fact that groups like First Light, the Society of Leopold, the overall Second Inquisition, these witch hunters go around just calling themselves hunters. There's more to hunting than just capturing and experimenting on those who are doing no harm to the kine. But needless to say, the Second Inquisition, well, at least that chapter of the Second Inquisition, seemed to be a little underpowered, so to speak, for what they went up against. A man and a woman, to my knowledge.
Where are they keeping you?
So, I do know that I was moved a few times. I was moved overseas, I was moved to the States, I was moved into Canada. And the last, well, where I gained my freedom was a little place called Shreveport, Louisiana. I know you're all brimming with questions, and I'll be forthcoming as best as I can be. You see, I don't have all the answers. I just have some. And if Bran trusts you, I shall too.
I do. I do.
Do you remember when you were a young fledgling?
Yes.
And remember how every now and then I would tell you about humans that seem to have powers?
Do you mean the Fae?
No, I don't mean the Fae. Though this city is brimming with them.
Yeah, we've, someone's been kind of employing that.
Didn't
So,
that someone
humans
also...
with powers, I mean... Oh, go ahead.
Didn't that someone also happen to go to Shreveport via what we saw via the phone messages?
Braun's gonna pull out the phone and check, because Braun does not remember. I'm actually doing that right now. Give me a second.
Take your time. You see, Braun never was good with technology. It's actually kind of hilarious.
Braun is also not great with maps. No. No. I don't see... Oh, wait. There it is. Ray is also not great with technology and maps, apparently. Apparently, yes.
It's okay, we still love you.
Huh.
I'm willing to bet, just through sheer coincidence, that whoever's been messaging us on that phone, also the person that saved our friend here, and is also going to be showing up at our doorstep at some time this evening.
Very soon, actually.
We're still only assuming that we can trust them. We're only assuming we know who it is.
At this point, I'd bet you dinner.
Everyone's just gonna sigh. Because he's also pretty sure who it is. But, you know, Bran got a Bran. Trying to think if there's any other... Oh, here's an interesting one. When exactly... How long has it been since you got out?
2, maybe 3 weeks.
Doing math.
I'm gonna sidle up by Braun and look at the phone as well. Just to be that nosy goofball.
Okay, yeah, that's... Is that doable? 91 hours. Okay.
But then you also got to factor in
Only walking at night. And... Maybe... What are the... How long are nights? 10... that's still roughly like... 11, 12 days.
Yeah.
Nights.
Mhm.
Okay, that tracks. That tracks. He's not gonna question. Still really bugged that people know our address. Okay.
From inside the building, you hear 2 motorcycles race down the street, as well as a loud engine. And you hear very heavy rock music, particularly late 90s, early 2000s Rob Zombie.
Braun's gonna peek out the window.
As you peek out, you see a red hearse drive past, being led by 2 motorcycles. And a Prius. Because why not?
What the fuck? What?
Okay. Right then. Did the driver and the Prius stuck out their arm and turned the car.
No.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's not a car, it's a lunchbox. Well, if the pictures that our friend sent us are accurate, they just drove away.
The burner buzzes.
Yep, of course it does.
Couple blocks away. See you soon, XOXO.
XOXO.
Bran is just gonna level an unimpressed look at Evie. Like, you're not
What?
fooling anyone.
What? I'm innocent in this whole ordeal.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Is something the matter?
no. Well, kind of. Everyone in their sire knows where we live, apparently. Can't keep a secret to save them.
To be fair, if everyone in their sire knew where we were, we'd probably all be dead by now. Well, we'd be more dead by now.
Yeah. Still, uncomfortably large number of people that know things they shouldn't really know. Alright, so...
Are you saying that I shouldn't have come for you?
I'm saying you shouldn't have been able to. Like I said before, I'm not happy to see you again after nearly a year. But it's just I don't like people knowing where I am, where the people that I actually... It's not good. It's just... There's a reason I don't make havens.
Oh, I know.
Granted, your trading is at least part of it, but...
Without a haven, you have nothing tying you down. Makes you harder to track, harder to find. Taught you well.
Well, apparently it's a moot point now. So, do I tell them to come here, or do we go back there? And he's looking like exclusively at Bethany, Percy, and Evelyn.
Well, since they've already driven past and they already know where they're going, I'm assuming we should probably head back that way just to make sure that everything's fine, they're okay, and we're where they wanted us to be. So, yeah.
And they are who we assume them to be.
And it would be rude not to entertain guests.
I'm fairly certain, based on what I've been told, that they will be fine no matter what. Because if they've got 2 people with them
3.
that can handle themselves. I know it's 3, but Percy doesn't necessarily know that.
I mean, to be fair, one of them is driving a Prius.
A Prius and 2 motorcycles.
And a hearse.
Yeah, but Percy
Yeah.
didn't see
Percy
that.
didn't look out the window. Yeah, no, that was just...
Nope, Percy didn't see it.
That's
So
true.
he only knows of the two.
That is fair.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that they will be fine for a few minutes.
Okay, and now Bran is looking at Bethany. Well, no, Bethany already said to entertain guests, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess we're going back. Let's do it somewhat subtly so that we can try and catch a look before they see us. Maybe.
I
Okay.
mean, I could probably go to the wine bar across the street and get a look that way.
You just...
What?
Nothing. No snacks if you do that.
I'll try.
So you're going to the wine bar to get a snack or to find.
I'm going to the wine bar to get a different lookout other than going straight back to the museum.
Gotcha.
And by lookout, she means snack.
Shh! No one's supposed to know.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I'll troll for food later, okay? I actually want to be helpful.
Okay. I will rescind the unimpressed look that Bran was going to once again shoot at Evie.
Oh, I can't wait for that look to come back when I come back hungover from
Having a snack.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yep.
You all make it sound like I can't control myself. I'm offended.
So you're going to proceed over to the wine bar to get a better look.
Yes.
The rest of them are going to hang back, waiting for your word, I guess. Because, I mean, you do have their cell numbers.
That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
I could
hang
text
back.
them.
Bran will hang back. A bit. Like, not so far that if something happened, he wouldn't be able to run as fast as possible to get there. But also not close enough to be easily spotted.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming there's a window seat at said wine bar.
Yes.
Then I am going to get a glass of wine and go sit at said window seat.
Okay. So, from your seat, you see the hearse. You see an empty security truck. You see two people over, standing next to their motorcycles. And you see the driver's side door of the Prius open.
Alright, I'm gonna text to the group, no security guard, motorcyclists by the motorcycles, Prius door just opened.
Well, the door was open, so...
Okay, Prius door open. Am I able to see anybody of pertinent that I know? Any recognizable faces?
You do not. The two people stand by motorcycles. They're wearing they're wearing their leathers. One of them does have long blonde hair. The other one kind of like a just like hair tied back, ponytail, bandana. It's the more masculine looking one with the bandana. The more feminine one has the long blonde hair.
Okay, so the Prius is just, the car door is open, but there's like nobody there.
There's nobody there, yeah.
Okay, so I can probably safely assume that they're probably around the building. Assuming the hearse driver is not still in the vehicle. Do I still have Sense the Unseen going?
Yes.
Am I able to distinguish anything?
No. Not from the distance you're at.
Ah. So should I move in closer?
Are you texting that to the group?
I can text that to the group.
Because we can't hear you.
No, you should be able to telepathically read my mind and
Oh,
know what I need at any given moment.
While you're doing that, a young lady sits across from you with a glass of wine as well.
I'm assuming Bran can't, since I was hanging back, can't see.
Is
No.
it human or vampire?
Human?
Okay. I'm just gonna pleasantly smile and keep looking out the window.
Just kind of giving that longing gaze at you as she sips her wine.
Okay, I don't have awe going, so I must be very good. I'm
Or she immediately wants a one night.
that too. I'm going to pat her hand, tell her I'll be back another night, and then get up and walk out and just leave my glass of wine there.
She blushes and goes, "Okay. I'll see you then."
Okay, is there anything like kind of catty corner to like the museum or the wine bar that I can kind of like pretend that I'm like window shopping or something?
No.
Balls.
Like, it is a diagonal right across from the parking lot.
Right. Trying to remember like the entire layout of the museum. You said that, didn't you say that there was like a park nearby, like in the vicinity of the museum, thereabouts?
That's about a half a block from where you're at right now, which is further back from the... So, like, you have the museum directly diagonally across. You have the wine bar. Up the street a bit from there, you have that little park.
Okay.
So, going to the little park isn't going to help you.
No. Because I'm just trying to think of, is there a way that I can like kind of curve around, like make it look like I'm going somewhere else, but like loop around a back way to get to the museum?
Not from that. Not without actually going around the back. Like going blocks out of your way to do so.
Yeah, fuck no. Well, then I guess I just get to hold my breath, which I don't really need to, and cross the street.
Okay.
And text everyone going, I'm heading to the museum, because I can't see anything else.
As you get closer, you hear the sound of somebody gargling on blood. And the sound of flesh on flesh. Like, not like... flesh, more like flesh on bone.
So as soon as the text came in, like Bran is walking that way too, because that's not happening. No, he's not letting her go by herself. So from whatever vantage point they had, he is heading that way as well.
I suppose I should go check the noise and make sure it's not our poor little security officer that became a midnight snack.
Despite being a Scooby-Doo moment earlier, Bethany's not doing that this time and is staying with Bran.
So Bethany and Bran are both heading towards the museum as well, then?
Well,
That's what I'm inferring from that. Okay.
Bethany, Bran, and Owen.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Owen's just going to go along with them, and I guess...
And where the fuck is Percy?
Yeah, Percy's just like, I can turn this into a nice new compound.
Percy's just tagging along. He doesn't know what's going on at the moment.
I would say if Bran were better at technology, he'd probably be texting, wait for us, wait for us, wait for us, but I don't know that he can text and walk efficiently. So he's probably focused more on getting there, like, as soon as possible.
So, Evelyn, you've crossed the street. You do hear the sound of somebody getting the shit kicked out of them immensely.
How close are we?
You're still about 2 blocks off.
Golly Moses, we stayed far back.
Yeah.
Is there like a corner I can peek around?
Not really.
Ugh. There's like literally like no. It almost sounds like this dude is getting the shit kicked out of him like in the open.
Well, it would be the open, but there's a hearse and a Prius kind of blocking the view from the street. Yeah.
Okay. Are the biker dudes gonna do anything when I get across the street and see what's happening? Or
they're just going to turn their head towards you.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, I don't know what to do.
So if we were that far back, like Bran is probably at least jogging.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, knowing that she's heading towards the museum from the...
Yes.
I mean, he would want to do his best to get there before she, like, goes inside or something.
Yeah.
Bethany's not happy with the jogging, but is still going to keep pace.
Freaking deal with it. One of of her people is putting themselves in danger again.
I'm fine.
Percy's still walking casually.
So are you going to peek around the vehicles to see if you can get a good look?
I don't know if I should try to peek around or just like stand there and stare back at the biker guys and see like who out intimidates who.
The male looking biker kind of just does that whole like looking you up and down, and then kind of just nods his head. The female, on the other hand, kind of sneers towards Evie before turning her head back to the spectacle in front of her.
Does that mean her back is now to Evie?
Mm-hmm. Both
Okay.
of their backs are towards her.
Okay, I just wanted to... I didn't quite have the right picture in my head then.
So their backs were turned, but they did that kind of look over the shoulder thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I had been under the impression that they were facing out towards the road.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
No. I could have
Gotcha.
phrased that better. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they know like who they're looking for here at all? Or do they just assume I'm some passerby?
They don't realize. Well,
I say it sounds like they assume you're a streetwalker. Just based on the nod and the sneer.
Yeah, possible. I suppose I could probably try to walk up. Maybe?
walking up to
Are we
what?
there yet?
Walking up to what?
To what's happening? Or
Uh,
I
you-
don't
you-
know where everything is oriented, Todd.
Okay. So,
We need minis.
so what I'm hearing is you want to go and check out what's going on.
Yes.
Okay.
Have we made this 2-block track yet?
You are almost there. So what you see is a gentleman with a shaved head and a goatee beating the shit out of the security guy.
Oh, come on. We actually like him.
You said that out loud?
Yeah.
Bran is gonna kill her!
He stops what he's doing and turns his head. I knew I'd find you sooner or later, Roses.
Is this somebody that I recognize, or is it somebody that somehow knows me that I don't know how they know me?
No. You've met him before.
Is it the dude from the gun shop?
It is indeed Smitty.
Hey! And what did our poor security guard do to you?
He just deserved it. It's hard to explain.
He's actually been pretty good to us, so if you could lay off, that'd actually be lovely.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
I'd rather you did.
Well,
Are we there yet?
you are there now.
Good. Tackle him.
Gosh, this is gonna hurt. We do like the security guy. Does it, okay? So having come up,
Mhm.
would Bran recognize him, or is I don't understand. I don't know how to phrase the question that I'm trying to ask
Are we
here.
saying that would Bran recognize Smitty?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is where I have to think of what Bran's split decision would be. Is Smitty still currently kicking the guy, or has he?
No. He's kind of kneeled over the security guy, but he's not throwing any punches anymore.
Okay, so he's been sufficiently distracted.
Yes.
Did I hear any of that previous conversation?
No.
Where he was saying that he would rather not explain. Okay,
No.
so I just got here.
Yes.
Gosh, apparently Bran's out of shape. Can't manage 2 blocks.
Well, I mean, you could have, but you're also trying to make sure that you're not losing the rest of your pack, you know?
Okay, we'll go with that.
Because
Except for
Bethany
Percy,
is out of
apparently.
shape.
Bethany was never in shape.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, so now here's my other question. Is it reasonable to assume that his emotional state is at least calm enough for him to not immediately speak in Welsh, or because he was speaking English earlier to the others, but it was kind of like, but also this time running to I'm sorry, I'm trying to
Give me a composure resolve.
Okay.
No modifier.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it'd be composure. Yeah, composure resolve.
Where's composure at?
Under traits. So,
Oh, there it is. Okay.
yeah.
It's right underneath manipulation.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Resolve. Okay, that's a 4 dice pool. Oh, I have to actually. Okay, there it goes. 2 successes and 2. Hold on.
Okay.
So I got one crit.
You got 2
a
successes.
success, and then does the hunger dice count as a?
Yes.
So that would be 3 successes.
Yes. Yeah, 3 successes. You're sufficiently calm enough not to go full Welsh.
Okay. Cool. What the hell are you doing?
Beating the shit out of a spy.
spy?
Yes. I didn't fucking stutter.
Care to expound?
So, you realize that even when you're in a city without really a vampiric presence, there are other things that go bump in the night, right?
Very much aware, yeah.
And this little wolf fucker here been keeping tabs on you for the local lupine.
And Bran is just gonna, pinch the bridge of his nose. I'm not even a little bit surprised. Not even a little.
Like good tabs or bad?
Bad!
Wait,
If he's reporting to the werewolves, that's bad.
I'm sorry, I just got here. What?
It's nice of you to join us, your majesty.
Fuck you too, Smitty.
Oh, good.
I wasn't
times.
aware that we needed to hurry to meet people here because nobody said anything.
As
No,
the
but
others
the rest of us
hurried
were
away.
running.
No, you were briskly walking. There's a
No,
difference.
I explicitly said that he was at the very least jogging, which would
Briskly
probably be
walk-
closer to
briskly
a
walking.
run. Which would probably be closer to a run for Bethany.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Percy was casually walking towards the museum. He was moseying towards the museum. Take my
Yeah,
time.
the only reason Bran wasn't full out running was because because other people were with him as well.
A jaunty little venture stroll.
Yeah, Percy had no idea what the hell was going on, so he was just walking.
You got the text, too! It was sent to the group message!
He didn't check his phone. It's on silent.
I mean, to be fair, Bethany didn't check her phone, but saw Bran running and went, this might be important.
It's been a very emotional night for Bran. He might end up punching someone very soon. Okay. So, all this aside, so Percy does basically ask what? That was the last thing that happened, right? Other than the
Yeah.
fuck you, Smitty, and all that? Okay.
Yeah. Now, the last thing was, fuck you, Smitty, after, nice of you to join us, your majesty.
Gotcha.
Because that shit is
A lot of
canon.
crosstalk.
That is canon now.
Yeah. Okay, so I lost my train of thought. I apologize.
Something
So-
werewolves.
Yeah. Basically, Bran is just going to tell Percy the gist of what they just found out.
Okay.
Yeah. I just can't words at the moment.
So the gist of what happened was the security guy who was super chummy with Percy was actually reporting on them to the lupine community.
To be fair, Percy never really gave too much in the way of information, just sat and had, talks about sports and shit, so...
Yesterday's sports, because he always had yesterday's paper. Never today's.
Yeah.
Always yesterday's.
Yeah. So, he just sat and bullshitted with him about sports and shit. Like, Percy didn't give away any information, never talked about what they were doing or anything like that. So, Percy's like, whatever.
Bethany's going to hold up her left hand, single finger extended. Excuse me, may I ask him a single question?
Ask who?
She uses that finger then to point to the security guard. Him.
You could try.
So he's beyond question, is what you're saying.
Oh, he's still somewhat conscious. Just hard for him to talk without all his teeth.
To be honest, it doesn't even need to be a verbal answer. She's going to walk over, squat down in front of him, and using all behind what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to ask him, while pointing to Smitty, is what he says true?
Security guard just kind of nods yes. And spits up a little blood.
She stands, turns back to the others and, throws both hands up and says, no further questions.
The defense rests. So, anybody else?
I just thought before we start taking sides, we should find out the truth. Now that I know it, all of you feel free to take whatever sides you wanted.
I don't really feel like taking a side in this. Sorry, Bill, I guess. But, I guess you kind of had it coming.
Can one of you hold him?
Can I ask why?
Because I think the boss would want to have a word with him.
I kind of want to have a few words with him too, but sure. Braun's gonna go over and...
I mean, if you want, I can hold him while you get some answers, and then do what I need to do. This is one of those speak now or forever hold your peace situations.
Yeah. The player is thinking. Not Braun. Braun is going to just kind of nod at that.
Okay. So Smitty picks him up, kind of gets him in like a full Nelson to kind of hold him up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you better answer these questions truthfully.
Bran is just gonna look him in the eye and say, or ask rather, who exactly were you talking to about us?
My tribe.
Your tribe. So you're one of them.
No, I kind of belong to them.
Okay. Did you let them in about however many weeks ago it was? How many weeks ago was it?
About
Is it 4?
about a
Is it
month,
a month?
yeah.
Okay. Did you let them in a month ago?
Yes.
Where did they take what was ours?
Explain.
They took something. Where did they take it?
What did they take?
Oh, come on. Don't pretend that you don't know.
I'll never tell you of all. Servants of the worm. Anything about where to find my tribe.
Bethany's going to walk back over, look him in the eye, still using awe that she hasn't stopped, and says, "Where did they take it?"
About 20 minutes from here. Little park. That's where I meet them, anyway.
So beyond that, then, you have no idea
No
where they
idea.
took it?
No idea.
She then turns to Bron and says, "Well, I for one can't think of any more questions or views." So she shrugs and walks back over to where Artemis is.
Percy's gonna use Mesmerize.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What? Oh, that's the wrong one. Wrong button. No modifiers. Ooh, 2 successes. Out of 5.
Okay. Now, what were you exactly trying to do? Like,
Oh, well, to be fair, I have to capture his gaze
uh-huh.
and then attempt to give can issue complex commands.
Ah.
I was going to have him, answer all of the questions to the best of his abilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, no, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not with what you rolled. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yep, I kind of figured as much on the 2 successes.
Does anybody else want a chance before I turn this one over?
I mean, I'd just like to know where my dog went. Other than that, all yours.
I mean, that's kind of what Bran was asking without so many words.
And what Bethany was helping with.
All right, Welsh. Hold this one. Let me go get the boss.
Yeah, Bran is gonna hold him, and it's not gonna be a comfort for Buddy Boy.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
I don't know how to describe it, because I don't know how, what holds are, but it is not one that is comfortable for him.
So...
Octopus hold?
I don't know what that is!
It's a very uncomfortable position to be in. because basically you're forcing him to support all of your weight by locking his body up to do so.
I mean, to be fair, the guy can barely stand right now.
Yeah, I don't want to end up on the floor.
He doesn't need to be able to stand. You lock his legs in place, supporting the weight in basically a horse stance. Like, legitimately, his legs can't give out.
Okay.
Yeah, about like that.
Well, I'll just let the storyteller imagine how he's being held. He's not comfortable. Is basically all I'm trying to say. But I don't really like that position because Bran doesn't have a whole lot of control.
Yeah.
Or
Like
experience
I
with pro
definitely
wrestling.
think Bran, yeah, no experience with wrestling either. Well, I mean, he probably wrestled down sheep when they needed sheared, but
I highly doubt you gave a sheep an octopus hold, though.
oh no, probably not.
That wasn't, WWE, that was more of EWE.
You...
Oh my god!
So, you are now holding... I'm taking control here right now, so... Braun is now holding the gentleman behind his... Braun's behind the security guy, holding him up. Both his arms, arms kind of threaded through, holding the guy's arms close to the Braun's body, but the guy's not going anywhere. Smitty proceeds to walk over to the hearse, knocks on the passenger side tinted window. The window comes down a little bit, whispers something into the window. The engine cuts off. The door, the driver's side door opens. You hear it open. You don't see anybody. Out of nowhere, a woman in platforms leaps from the top of the hearse onto the security guard, sinking her teeth into his neck.
That is really uncomfortably close on.
Yes, it is. Like, the second that the contact hits, you just let go. And kind of step to the, you, as soon as you see the woman jumping, you kind of let go that grab.
Okay.
And
do I recognize the woman, though?
Yes, you do.
Because I was going to say, if I don't, then, I mean, he wouldn't just step away. He would probably attack anyone coming at him that close. And I don't know if his reaction time would be good enough to not go with that instinct.
Okay. I'm going to say it is, in this sense.
Okay. Cool.
The woman leaping and sinking her fangs into the poor security guy, none other than Lydia. As she leaves the completely drained body there, she looks up, wipes her mouth, and goes, "You missed me?"
Just a little bit.
Just a tad, huh? Maybe I will put your paints on the top shelf.
That's okay, I can just borrow your shoes to grab them later.
How I miss this little fighting. Or is it flirting? I'm not sure. You seem to mix the two up a lot of times.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Muttered under his breath. Definitely flirting. Probably in Welsh, too. Just, to make sure that... Because he is standing kind of close to her.
To be fair, for a lot of people, they're one and the same.
So now that I'm here, and as I said, I was bringing friends, I couldn't risk exposing who I was until we knew for sure. Like, we don't know how safe that phone is. Yes, I know I was stupid and I left maps, but by the time those maps got sent, I was already on to the next city. So
That's also incredibly not safe because everyone seems to get this number.
So the way I got this number was, remember when I was Miss Vargas's house guest?
Yes.
That's when I got this number. Well, got that number. I also made sure to have her assistant's phone number as well. Good old Bryce.
Which one? There's like a bazillion of them.
Yeah, there is. The Duskborn. The thin-blooded Bryce.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Half sister apparently. Kind of weird.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Huh. Well, so let me fill you in on what happened. So remember how we were supposed to all get a place together and, blah, 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 and
you guys saw something. You went insane and ran off, and then Charlotte was in hysterics.
Oh, no. Charlotte was in hysterics. Me and Charlotte were set up.
As in...
There were hunters waiting for us when we got there. Autumn can play her little games as much as she wants, but at the end of the day, she's still fucking Lysambra. We can't trust that bitch.
I mean, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here away from Nashville, where apparently it's going down in frickin' flames.
Yeah, about that. So, yes and no. It's one of the reasons why I made it my job to, once I was free, thanks to those two over there, points over to the two by the motorcycles. If it wasn't for them, I would just be somebody's ashtray, most likely. But it seems like that fucking bitch wanted it so that me and Charlotte, no, Charlotte's a little bit more pliable, but I was out of the picture. It was a way for her to get a little bit more control over you guys. Keep you guys away from the city. Let her fight her little war. Not everything is what it seems.
Nothing is what it seems.
No, it doesn't. I remember when I was introduced to you guys, it was supposed to be solving a simple murder. Or a string of murders, my mistake. And all fingers pointed to Vamp Daddy. But who's to say? that they actually do now. I'm doing a little digging. Putting out feelers, having other Anarchs look into this stuff for me, and having their ghouls do research and all the other stuff. Autumn. And you know her as Miss Vargas, but I'm not giving her the satisfaction. But Autumn, her hands are a lot dirtier than you would think. Especially when it comes to this. She's forced so many into Sabbat servitude. So many. And yes, Vamp Daddy was formerly Sabbat. She didn't like the fact that they decided just to cast him out. She made it her personal goal to destroy his life. So while it's speculated there's a lot of bodies attached to him, how many of those are actually from his doing, and how many are hers, to try to draw the attention of hunters? I think I was getting too close to the truth, me and Charlotte, and that's why we were set up.
Vargas aside, I will say this. She points to Artemis and says, regardless of how clean his hands may have been otherwise, we had to pry her out of them. That alone is reason for me to loathe him.
Oh no, absolutely. He is a piece of shit. He's a total and utter piece of shit. However, things are getting bloody in Nashville. Rather bloody. But this could be a good thing for us. You see those two over there? Pointing over at the two with the motorcycles.
Yeah.
What do you know about hunters?
Not much other than to stay away, usually.
Most cases you would be right. Though, there's more than one type of hunter.
Fair enough. People come in all shapes and sizes. I'd imagine hunters come in various degrees of fervor.
So Mr. Fancy Pants, when it comes to hunters, there's two distinct types. There's kind that like to play hunter. And then there's these guys who, for some reason or another, have been touched, so to speak, and given an edge when it comes to hunting. I mean, they go by like code names or some shit. I really don't even know. All I know is that the big one calls the small one Avenger, and the small one calls the big one Redeemer. So But the big one is a bit more merciful than the lady. She is cold and vindictive. I mean, to be fair, she's like a lot of exes I know.
Now that the subject is on the two humans, Bran is going to look at Owen and kind of like raise his eyebrows and, kind of like quizzically, like, them or.
Owen nods his head yes.
Okay.
And Lydia,
Well,
all right, what were you gonna say?
what exactly do these hunters?
What was your question?
What do these hunters hunt?
So they hunt just about anything. Ghosts, well, wraiths, mummies, vampires, werewolves, fae. I mean, there's nothing that they don't hunt. They're basically they basically are kind of told what to hunt. Now, from what I gather, the Avenger, Avenger over there, she kind of, I mean, she doesn't really run the show. She may play that she does, but she very much is the muscle of the operation. And don't get me wrong, he can defend himself pretty well. But just because you hunt doesn't mean you have to kill. Does that make any sense?
Makes sense to me.
So,
I mean, to be fair, those of us that are Canites, hunt, but generally try not to kill, so I can understand that.
So, in my case, I got staked. I was taken to some fucking place in the Pacific Northwest. Experimented on a little bit. They tried to find ways to. They wanted to see if limbs grew back and all the other stuff, and so on and so forth. It was rather embarrassing. Not as embarrassing as begging for rats. But then these two showed up. They took care of the kine that were there and said, "We're going to let you free because you've done no wrong." But there is a war coming. And we may call upon you. And I mean, I'm all for it. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do this shit. I'll get allies. I'll get everybody together. We'll do this shit. And then we started our little road trip. Came across Smitty over in Wyoming, kind of holding up. Him in his little stupid Prius. Can't believe I had to ride in that thing with him. But then we started the road trip, and we had heard from contacts that Tennessee was kind of a no-go for right now because of the hellfire and the brimstone and all the other doom and gloom that's going on between Damien and Autumn. I mean, then it's like, okay, so I'm cut off from there. Where do I go? And I start going to other cities and rallying the Anarchs there. We have so much support. When you guys feel you're ready, we can fucking march right back into Nashville as a force. Just say the word. And those two badasses over there, and that little ghoulish badass there, they'll lead the way. Even if it's with his stupid, ridiculous Prius. Smitty just kind of looks over and shrugs.
There's only one thing stopping us from leaving tonight.
What's that?
Caden.
Kind of figured that would be the case. Let me guess, the mutts took the little pupper.
Yep.
That is going to be a little bit more problematic. Because who knows what they're using Caden for. Hell, for all we know, they could be using Caden to breed with. I don't know. Caden was fixed, right? Oh no.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'm sorry, I'm not a good dog owner.
Bran is just kind of making a face.
I won't say my mind didn't go there.
Alright. So we're going to need a plan of attack. We're going to need a place big enough for all of us. Because them, and she points over at Owen, and Owen over there, are not fucking leaving you guys alone.
Well, if you have any cots, you're welcome to stay where we're staying.
Which brings question to mind. How did you know we were here? I mean, I get the phone thing, sure. But location.
The location.
How?
So I may or may not have kept pinging Bryce's phone. And I noticed that it stopped in Nashville. It started in Nashville and it ended here. As for how I knew you guys were at the museum, I kind of figured with Little Miss Art, she would want to be here. I mean, worst case, like, there's a wine bar right across the street, and I know how much she loves the drunkards over there. Well, not over there, but, like, just, silly girls that have a little too much wine. They give a little bit extra flavor for her, I get that. So, kind of triangulate once we found out that Bryce stopped here. Then, of course, we started seeing the other assistants pop up in the news, fighting cops, bodies in lakes, just, weird missing persons. It's a whole thing.
I think you've gotten to know me a little bit too well.
Well, I mean, we were going to get to know each other a little bit better, but, then shit hit the fan, right? You guys are forced out of Nashville. I'm forced into a fucking maze like a fucking rat trying to find the cheese. And yes, they did that. They would set a blood bag in a maze and see how long it would take me to go through the maze to find the blood bag. So fucking embarrassing.
That sounds really degrading.
It is. And they took away my shoes. So I was like all 4 foot, 4'7", 4'8"? So, yeah. Do you guys know any quiet places that aren't abandoned buildings or whatnot? Because I've really had it with abandoned buildings. Kind of like, you know what? It doesn't even have to be a fucking quiet place. Like, just a place where I can kind of sit back, relax a little bit, and not have to fucking worry. And we can kind of lay out a game plan. Try to figure this out. Try to look at where we may be able to find that tribe's new stud, I guess. Poor Caden. Poor Caden.
I'm just gonna point towards the museum. We can go in there.
I guess so. Smitty, take care of that body. Because, I mean, we don't really need to be drawing that much attention tonight. And if anything, like, I mean, he's about your size, so, like, just throw on that costume he's wearing, that outfit. You'll look ridiculous, but then just sit in his fucking security car. Keep an eye out. Radio us if, like... I mean, he's got a radio in there, so, like, I guess radio us? Or something? I mean, you got my number, so we can... Fucking let me know if anything comes up. Smitty kind of sighs defeatedly, walks over, picks up the dude. But there's blood all over this outfit. I don't fucking care. Put it on. You cut yourself shaving, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Smitty kind of drags the body off so he can strip it down, put on the clothes, and then go into the security car. So anyway, I think that this will probably be the best place to kind of take a break. We'd like to thank each and every one of you who are joining us live. For you that are joining us live, we'll have a nice little intermission. For those that are listening to the audio version on any of the fine services, we're on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, Radio Public. I mean, this break is going to be like a snap. No joke. It'll just cut and then it'll pick right back up. But anyway, same thing for the YouTube version. But we will be back. Thank you guys for checking out Nashville by Night. We'll see you in a few minutes. Alright guys, thank you very much for hanging in there. We're going to get started here in a minute. Do appreciate you guys hanging out during our intermission so we could kind of stretch and hydrate and all the other stuff. So let's get back into this. So as we return, the Coterie is moved back into the museum, into the fun little restoration room. All of them are there. Percy, Bethany, Evelyn, Bran, Lydia, Smitty, and our two hunter friends.
What about Owen?
Yes, Owen's there too.
Okay.
Owen, not Smitty, because Smitty's outside in the security van, security truck, dressed in his bloody clothes.
So here's a question I've been wondering about. Because when we go into the museum, Dewin is there.
Yes.
So, what sort of a reaction?
Dewin, upon entering the restoration room, Dewin kind of pounces Owen and starts licking his face like a pupper would, but he's a wolf, not a pupper.
He's a big wolf.
Yes.
Bron's not going to do anything about that. I mean, I just was curious.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, they'll just kind of stand there and smirk at it, I guess.
So the human male kind of like looks around and goes, "So this is where you guys have been holding up?"
A part of me wants to be a smartass, but I'm not going to.
Well, it's no Four Seasons, of course, but then the Four Seasons would have taste, decorum, and class.
Well, from everything I've been told by from your good friend Lydia here, you got a Ventru apparently, and that should be enough, right?
I guess?
She usually said it sarcastically, so she really doesn't like the Ventru.
I don't truly believe the Ventru like the Ventru, but that's just a theory I have.
Well, that's fair. That is fair. But to be perfectly honest, like you guys are in a tough spot. You're in a very, very tough spot with everything going on, you know, and it's not all the time that you... On any other occasion, it could very much be us hunting you. But I see nothing hellish of you guys. You guys seem very... just trying to survive, you know? You're not trying to corrupt the masses or anything like that, you know? You're just... you know, you're just trying to survive. I respect that.
Thank you, I think.
Typically, somebody, you know, becomes one of you guys and goes to their heads and they're like, oh, I can lord over whoever I want and blah, blah, blah. And they cause pain and misery for all the, you know, all the innocents out there that don't know the score. They don't know what's really going on.
That's something that's never sat quite well with me either. I mean, my unlife is spent much the same as I spent my life, so I don't understand why people couldn't be more like that.
Right? I mean, there's ways for, like, people to kind of exist alongside you guys. Like, I mean, if you guys go a little too overboard, then yeah, I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do. But I don't see the... I don't see the issue you guys are facing. That's why I'll never understand. Like, Lydia was filling us in on this. I know you're not supposed to talk about vampire stuff with humans and blah blah blah. You know, but you know, it seems that there's two of three sides here of this pyramid, so to speak. And two of them really just want control.
There are those like me that I dislike. I'm sure there are those like you that you dislike.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, though, between the hermits and the wayward, I mean, you deal with them like when you have to, though you really don't deal with the hermits per se. But the woman kind of elbows him in the ribs, like he's saying too much. So, for you guys to move onto the next phase that we need, we have to get a dog?
I would prefer to have my dog back before we move away from this town, yes.
Okay.
We all lost a lot. Frankly, we'd like not to lose more. I'm sure you can understand that.
I can understand that. Though, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, never gone up against a werewolf before. So, you guys have any tips?
To be perfectly frank, I've never gone up against a werewolf before, so we're in common territory.
Fair. Okay.
I think that generally goes for everybody here. I don't think anybody's been in a fight with a werewolf.
Okay. All right.
Bran is going to look at Owen and raise an eyebrow.
Owen's gonna kind of shake his head, like say nothing. But, all right, so, okay, would it be easier if we took care of getting the dog back for you guys? I mean, it's technically a little below us to, like, get a dog, but at the same time, I mean, we're trying to build some trust with you guys, because, I mean, you guys really can't trust us. You know, we're humans, we get it, you see us as food.
Actually, I'd like to point out, I don't see you as food.
But that's just because you're not my type.
And what's your type?
Academics?
See, the reason why we actually came to Jackson is because we wanted to make sure Mr. Picky Eater over here would be able to sustain himself.
For fuck's sake. Alright, so I'm gonna lay out a plan. Probably not gonna be a great plan, but it'll work. I mean, Ray liberated 2 of you guys from, well, I mean, they were humans, but whatever. So this is the idea. This is the plan. Our best chance is to do it during the day. Hence why,
Yeah, probably not a good idea for us.
yeah. Which is why it'll probably be the best idea for me and her to take care of this while you make your final arrangements here in this city.
Sounds fair to me.
I want to thank you. I know you say it's beneath you, and I can understand that you have talents that we cannot begin to understand at this point, but I do want to say that this is a creature that my friend here loves very much, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that if you cannot hold on to that of what you love, if you cannot hold on to that part of yourself, your humanity slips away and you become the monster that a lot of your kind thinks we are.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I believe in the good in everybody. You know, everybody has some good in them. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some that are unredeemable. There's some I cannot justify redeeming. But you guys have not given me a reason not to. You've been forthcoming. You've willingly invited us into your restoration room?
Daytime retreat for the time being.
Fair. So, what do you guys know about what's going on in Nashville, was it? Since you've left?
From the sounds of it, Damien's gone a little bit insane, and that's about all I know.
Okay.
Well, and Vargas, apparently.
Don't forget Yulia. Granted, she was always crazy, so it's not really a surprise.
Okay. All right. So right now, it sounds like there's 3 major threats in Nashville.
Yulia is primarily a threat to me.
How so?
Yulia is my sire. She dropped me in Nashville, left me there, and then claimed that I had voluntarily left the Camarilla, and decided that her and her little gang of cronies were going to hunt me down like a dog for something I didn't do. Because I'm a Ventru and now an Anarch because of my sire.
Okay. All right. So the way I see it is just because you think it's all about you, it's not. I mean, she sounds like a horrible...
Didn't say that.
Well, I mean, you've just...
Didn't even imply it.
I mean, you kind of mentioned that it was just like, oh, well, drop me in this
She
city.
does it to everyone.
Okay. Which means she's a threat to more than just you.
Honestly, don't know of any other Anarch Ventru in the city. So, pretty sure I was the only one there.
Yeah, but it's more than just your clan, is it? There's... If she's willing to go and bring this hunt down on you, I guess.
She only does it to Ventru.
But does she?
Yeah. It's kind of her thing.
Yeah.
It's true. Yulia's really only after Percy here. I'm pretty sure my sire has raised all sorts of hell since, I've slipped from his grasp.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Vargas has been trying to cover her tracks with, I'm assuming, blaming my sire with most of everything. It's just a big old mess.
Mm-hmm.
And, Sire also has my fiancé as a bargaining chip to try to bring me back, but if I do go back, he'll probably kill him and me. It's really a no-win situation.
Gotcha. Alright. So here's the plan. Me and her, we're gonna get your dog. It's gonna take some time, we're gonna have to scope it out, we're gonna have to go and make sure we're finding things, and we're going to do it during the day. Alright? So you guys cannot be involved in this unless you want to be part of a barbecue. Okay? That's number 1. Once that is done, Lydia... Well, actually, while that's going on, Lydia's going to start rallying her troops. Her and Owen kind of going to do their thing. Get them ready. Once everything is set, and we get the word, we, all of us, going to march in to Nashville. Gonna kill ourselves a couple vampires. We're going to quell this little war that's apparently happening, because if one of them's raising hell, another one's raising hell, and another one's kind of probably doing some fucked up shit to try to find a certain somebody who fled the city, then, I mean, I can give him a chance. She ain't gonna give him a chance. Now the question is, when it comes to those three, who do you want having the conversation with them? Do you want me, or icy but silent, icy but deadly over there?
In the case of my sire, definitely deadly.
Okay. What about, what's his name, Damien?
That'd be the one, and I also would very much like him to be dead too.
The woman starts smiling, like evilly, like gleefully evil. And the other one, Vargas.
I don't know about the rest of them, but so far she's been the one that's least likely to, put us to the final death. So I'd probably say you on Vargas.
We also have to keep Bryce in mind.
True.
Lydia kind of gives you like the side eye as you're going and saying this.
Trust me, Lydia, I don't like it either, but of the three evils in the city, she's probably the lesser of the three.
I beg to differ.
Who would be your choice for the lesser of three evils, then?
Believe it or not, none of them. They're all guilty. All deserve it.
Fair enough.
And that bitch... Oh, that bitch... I want her to see her first sunrise in centuries. I'm not talking about through a computer screen. I'm talking about actual fucking sunrise.
So that's Lydia's vote towards deadly as well. Anybody else?
To be honest, I don't really know any of them firsthand, so...
So, here's the thing. It's all well and good that everyone wants the same people dead, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I feel like we're falling into a trap again.
Explain.
Because
I'm curious.
So here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
These three are friends,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all well and good.
Mm-hmm.
They're also apparently naive idiots. Because every time...
I was actually going to bring this up at some point, but...
Fair.
One thing I was going to say is... Lydia, we know you to some extent, but what do we really know about what you're saying? No offense. You understand we have to be cautious as well.
Bran just kind of nods.
Well, the fact that the only person that knew about that safe house was Autumn, and it just so happens that fucking hunters were waiting for me and Charlotte.
Yeah, that's not what we're asking. We're not asking why we shouldn't trust Vargas. I already said at the beginning we shouldn't trust Vargas. We're asking, why should we trust you and them? What's to keep you from screwing us over? Same way she did. Same way everyone's done so far.
When have I screwed you guys over?
Oh, we met once. We met one time.
I would like
We
to think-
have no reason for trust. Just because you haven't screwed us over yet doesn't mean you won't.
I'm not saying we have a reason for distrust. I'm saying we have a reason for caution. That is all.
Caution,
At
I
this
can
point-
understand.
At this point, honestly, we've been thrown back and forth so many times. We just want to make sure it's not going to happen again. That's all. Respectfully.
You gotta remember, this all started because Damien threw a party that brought the Camarilla and the Anarchs together, all for a fucking job, so you guys and me can be put on a murder case. And the more and more things got looked into, it looked more and more like it was Damien. And then Autumn shows up. Her tag shows up at all the scenes. Things point towards her. Though, then they point right back to Damien. Then, Autumn comes into my residence, takes me, sets my place on fire, keeps me bound, gagged, the whole nine, for a week? Because I wanted to rip that, I wanted to rip that Lasombra's throat right out. But I bided time. I thought, hey, maybe, just maybe, she actually is here to help. But the more you read into it, the more you look into it, she's got a personal vendetta against Damien. She's got a personal vendetta against the Camarilla. I mean, Nashville was a Sabbat city before they abandoned it. All I want is a place for the free living dead. That's all I want. City where we don't have to deal with the fucking Camarilla or the fucking Sabbat whenever they decide to come back. I just want a city that we could call our own. Place where we don't have to fucking worry about, oh, this vampire called the Second Inquisition in on this guy. Where everybody's trying to go and get their own. No. We're a community. What's good enough for you is good enough for me, and vice versa. I'm looking at all of that. I don't look at it from the standpoint of, oh, I'm an older vampire, which means I deserve to be in a higher place than you, and you guys are supposed to do exactly what I fucking say. I don't look at it that way. And I'm not saying I haven't made some plays lately that have leveraged some of my standing amongst Anarchs, because I have. I don't like doing it, but it's also for the common good. It's for all of us. It's not for me. It's not for you. It's not for Owen. It's not for Bethany or Charlotte. It's for all of us. And I get it. I haven't given you a reason to trust me. I haven't. My only real interaction with your coterie has been with Evelyn. I understand that. But between the destruction of phones and the burner cell and compromise this and compromise that. I mean, I had to hear all about that shit when I was essentially being held captive without the bonds, And then I was sent to what should have been my death. Should have been Charlotte's death. But no, what did I do? I pushed Charlotte out of the way. I decided that I was going to take whatever it was so she could live on. I made a sacrifice play right then and there. It pained me to do something like that, but this is bigger than me. And I had to do what I had to. Make sure somebody who couldn't had a chance. So are you saying, so regardless of whether you trust me or not, I just laid it all out.
And I wish to hear it in your own words, and I have. You can certainly understand my desire there.
No, and I get that.
She then looks at Bron and says, do you have anything you wish to ask? Anything you wish to add? Please.
All I'm gonna say is you talk a good game. And I'll do whatever the others decide to do. But talk is talk. Words are words. And I don't really care one way or the other what happens to anyone in Nashville, what happens to Damien or Yulia Vargas, really don't care. As long as these three are safe and happy, then I guess that is what it is. And no, I don't trust you. And I don't know that you should be trusted. But
Beckett trusted me.
I'll do what the rest decide.
That's all I ask.
I do echo Bron's sentiment in one respect. virtually everyone I care about is collected within these walls right now. There is, quite frankly, there's no one in Nashville that I can think of. And only one person on this entire continent that is not within this room that I can think of. So as long as those people remain safe, remain sound, that's my biggest concern at the moment.
So what I'm hearing is we got to take care of the autumn threat first, then.
What you're hearing is we get Caden back and we see where it goes from there.
But getting Caden back, that's something that needs to happen anyway. But if you want to protect those you care about, Bethany, you have no idea. None of you do. Some of the sick shit that bitch planned. Hiring gangs to do strikes. For example, knowing where each and every one of your loved ones currently are. All those little anchors to humanity. She knows where they are. She'll quickly snuff them out if you were to step out of line. That's why I'm saying she is a threat and needs to be taken care of first. Because Damien doesn't have Wes.
Wait, if Damien doesn't have Wes, then...
Autumn does.
Uh-huh.
She was hoping that by her taking him, making it seem as if Vamp Daddy took your fiancé, that it would drive you to a point where you were ready to go through hell and high water to end him. That is how personal that vendetta is with her. You guys are nothing but pawns to her. That's the way she looks at it. I mean, she's trying to play a big game of chess with you guys, when in all actuality, what we need to do is we need to say, fuck it. This isn't a game I'm playing. You're playing chess. We're playing checkers. It's a way different game. She's trying to keep it that way, too. Keeping you guys here and there. I mean, poor Bryce gets thrown out. Doesn't know any better. Thinks that, oh, well, she just cut off communication with me. There must be something wrong. I guarantee that's what's going on in her head. She is such a fragile child. So fragile. Damien fucked her up bad. There's no denying that. But Autumn's done a lot worse to her. The one thing Autumn forgets is that Bryce knows where all the bodies are buried, so to speak. Bethany, Charlotte's been in touch with you?
Indeed.
Did she tell you anything about Bryce?
We spoke more about Abigail, honestly.
You do know who Abigail is, right?
Judging from your line of inquiry, I have a pretty good idea. Yes.
Yeah, so before Autumn, Bryce was known as Abigail. She's been using the name Bryce for so fucking long that that's all she goes by, except for when she's got to do, things with the public, and such. Job applications, things like that, She has to use her actual name. Just because all the paperwork doesn't match up, But even though that's the case, what did she tell you about Abigail? That Abigail probably knows more than she's letting on?
That did come up, yes.
To cozy up to her and bring her in so she feels accepted. And then maybe she'll tell some of those secrets.
Again, that did come up.
You see, when I was freed, the first person I got in contact with was Charlotte. Me and Charlotte had exchanged numbers way back. Charlotte knew I was safe. I told her not to let on that I was. I told her also to cozy up to Bryce a little bit, because Bryce seemed, at least for me, to know more about what was going on than actually was, than we were being told. And Charlotte's pretty damn convincing. I gotta give it to you, Setites. You guys are charismatic, to say the least. That being said, just as she was getting close, all of a sudden the whole I'm being sent to being sent to Jackson. So there was no way for them to kind of keep in touch. I mean, through text, but it's not the same, After all prodding, I suggested, hey, Charlotte, you know how you've been working with Bryce? Trying to figure out what the fuck is actually going on here. If she's in Jackson, didn't they just send our friends to Jackson as well? Charlotte said yes. Try to get your young acolyte's number. Get in touch with her. Explain to her in a way that isn't flat out saying, hey, she's got info, but she'll only give it up if she feels like she's part of something bigger, because that is everything she craves. That she's I feel bad for her. I really do. I really feel bad for Bryce or Abigail. I feel bad for her. She has nothing. Nobody's ever really cared for her. She came up when Thin Bloods were usually just hunted. I mean, between Thin Bloods and ToddEvs, they were usually whatever. But I don't know. So I am going to completely and totally suggest you do as she asks. She knows secrets that she doesn't want to tell because she doesn't feel like she can trust anybody.
That is a feeling I'm very intimate with at the moment.
Which feeling? The not being able to
trust. As I say, we've been thrown around so much.
Yeah, we all have.
Indeed.
I mean, when I came into Nashville initially, I was basically summoned there so I could kind of get a lay of the land, help the Anarchs out, make sure that it was going to be a safe haven for everybody. Didn't really work that way. I mean, do you understand how much it hurts me that I'm not there helping at the shelter? Instead, I'm trying to reclaim a city so I can go back to that. So I can help those poor, defenseless teens, those teen runaways, cope and survive.
I can certainly understand what it's like to wish that you could be with those you were protecting. Yes.
Yeah. Well, in my case, at least Autumn didn't have them attack the shelter. And I don't mean to have you start spitting venom or whatnot, but she was behind the church.
I did imagine that whoever was behind the church was also behind my flock. That much I have surmised.
Mm-hmm. She paid that gang to go out, make it look like it was some kind of vampire thing going on. Hence the little machine. Then she would go there. She'd make sure that it was, well, as videoed as it could be, considering you really can't see with Sombra on recording devices. And then she killed those she hired, so she didn't have to pay them. But only after they had taken care of your flock, so she could have you under her control. So you'd be ready for vengeance. She wanted you to be ready to go through the fire take care of what she wanted done, which was Damien. And don't get me wrong, he'll get his. It's only a matter of time. I mean, from everything he's done to Abigail, to Evelyn, I mean, he's a real piece of shit. And I'd love to give him the final death. A lot of people would love to give him the final death. But what's been expediting that has been Autumn.
This has definitely been a very eventful and difficult night for us, especially as far as these revelations are concerned.
Oh, absolutely.
One thing we need to do is decompress with all of this.
Oh, absolutely, and I completely agree. So, we're gonna head off before sunrise. The beauty of my hearse is it's almost like a portable haven, for one. It's terrific. That's why those windows are completely blacked out like that. I love it. So there's that. So I'm good. I could be parked in the parking lot and whatever. I'll be fine. Owen will probably go down to the park, dig himself a hole. You know. He likes that kind of stuff. Reminds me of somebody, actually. Reminds me of the talk we had about shovels, anyway. And I mean, they'll start their surveillance and everything like that on that park. See if we can find anything about an adorable little pupper. And get your Caden back.
That definitely sounds like a plan.
Okay.
And then we can speak more of all this.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to unpack. I get it. I understand.
Yes.
I'm going to give each and every one of you my number so you can contact me directly. We don't have to use some fucking bullshit burner phone. And you'll be able to get in touch with me. We'll be able to talk. Be able to kind of lay things out a little bit more. Go through some planning. Make sure we're all on the same page. Sound good?
Sounds good to me. I don't know about everyone else, but yes.
Sounds alright to me.
All right. So once we have the pupper, or once they have Caden back, we'll definitely have things to discuss in person. But that sun's starting to... Sun's not too far off now. So we should all get our day's sleep. Don't you agree?
Some rest would be appreciated, yes.
So anyway, guys, I'd like to thank each and every one of you that have checked this episode out, episode 5 of Nashville by Night, Jackson by Night Part 2. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. I do appreciate all your support for DorkyRae, for Moriarty, for Anubis, for itsAnubus, for Thrabalen of Thrabalen Gaming. Thank you guys, and hopefully you guys have a good one. We'll catch you next time for another edition of Nashville by Night. Sleep easy, kindred.